MSG PM on a Thursday night in New York City. Madeline Burke, Michelle Gingras, and the point in the show where the duo becomes a trio. Welcome to the show, Scott Gomez. Gomer's in the house.
Thanks for having me back.
Thanks for coming. Always a pleasure to talk some hockey with you, Gomer. And obviously a great game right now at Madison Square Garden right across the street. Rangers come away with a win, 3-1. What's your biggest takeaway from this one?
I think just the way they kind of held the game at the end. I mean, you're playing against a high-powered team, the Toronto Maple Leafs, and to sustain the lead in the third, to win those games earlier on. I mean, I was with you girls a couple weeks ago, and everything was going to hell, whatever.
The other direction.
Hey, this is the kind of games you need to win. Getting a goal, obviously, from the second unit, that's huge. I mean, to be able to put your second unit out any time of the game, you want that. And then, Jimmy Vesey, I mean, that's a highlight goal right there. It's but the way they got the win, the way they're getting the points. We talked about it. They got the last home win to go on the road, still sustain that. Yeah, I mean, it's an up and down season, and they're right where they need to be to just keep getting points.
I was going to say the mantra for this team, especially over the last 5 games, has been just get the 2 points, however you do that. So what does the recipe for sustained success look like for this team?
Well, obviously they're figuring it out right now. It's going to take everyone to hold a lead in this game. Just because of the rules and all, it's different. It's different from the old games when you had a 2-1 going in the third, they could have been over. No, the way the players are now today, the first through 4 lines they can score. It's hard to keep a lead. It's hard to take those points, especially like I said against Toronto. But these are the games that you build off. These are the 2 points that tomorrow you're feeling really great, and especially win at home. Just came back. Yeah, I mean there's a lot of positive things for the Rangers right now.
Yeah, they're hyped.
And now across the Hudson, the Devils over there, they had a strong start to the season, but a 2-1 loss. They're on a bit of a skid right now. What's your diagnosis for this Devils team?
I think they set the bar so high, but you look at you look at Hughes, you look at the guys they got. They're still going. It's not like they're getting blown out. It's not like they're doing bad mistakes. I mean, all right, you lost 2-1. Hey, you're still playing against NHL talent. But the Devils, hey, they put themselves in this position where you're going to play against New Jersey. You're going to try to bring your best because that's the way it's going to go. But I wouldn't put the panic button at all with these guys. I mean, it's still a dangerous team. You weren't going to keep that momentum, that streak. We're not the Montreal Canadiens in the 70s. I mean, they're going through their start, but they've started out so well that it's kind of not a learning experience, but they're kind of going through the ups and downs now, and that's what every team's got to go through.
Sure.
Yeah, and they also have to learn how to kind of fight through those, I think. Yeah. Let's touch one more on the team on the island, Long Island, the Islanders. Oof, it's been a long night for us. The Islanders, a little bit of inconsistency for them. They're beating teams that they're playing up to, and then they're kind of losing to teams that you think they would beat. What do you think is the key for them for some consistency?
I mean, I think it's you still want to beat the teams that it's hard for people to understand, but when the top teams come in,
you get up for those games.
You get up for them.
Yeah.
Maybe everyone does the little things better, and then when you do play against maybe semi-par teams, you might cheat a little bit. But they got a group of guys that have gone through it. They've been there before. They've had success. They've 2 Eastern Conference Finals. All right, last year was different, but they still got the vets. They still got guys that know how to do it. It's just one of those things once they figure it out. But as long as you're beating the better teams in the league, you're going to figure it out. It's the way it goes.
Now, a big story that we are following closely in the NHL is Alexander Ovechkin. The other night, he had a hat trick in a 7-3 win for the Caps, and he got to that 800 goal number. He's 1 goal shy of Gordie Howe and a casual 94 shy of Wayne Gretzky. But what did you make of that accomplishment for him?
I mean, you look back, and me growing up and being a hockey historian, I guess to say like that one, all Gretzky's records, you never thought were even going to be touched.
Yeah.
And for this guy to come in and play in the league, I mean, he's got more goals than I had points. To think about 800 goals, that is just amazing. This guy's been consistent since day one he's come in the league. He's one of those guys that right from the day one you saw this guy, it was like, this is different. He's a big man, his mobility, the way he gets open, and he's a guy that, and you'll even admit, they love to score.
Right.
And it's different. I mean, I love it. Everyone loves to score, but there's actually goal scorers that they feed out. They know how to do it. That's his livelihood. That's his job. And he said it was best. That's my job, to score goals. And to see this guy, and it's going to happen. I mean, he's going to, unless hopefully, injury, whatever, but he's going to beat Wayne Gretzky's record that no one ever thought would ever be touched. And it's great for our league. I mean, since day one, him and Crosby have come in and they've been nothing but great ambassadors for the game.
Right. Well, and the fact that he's done it all in one uniform, too, all with the Capitals and, 18 years with this team, but also with 2 lockouts and a COVID-shortened season as well, so that abridged amount of time he's still gotten there.
I mean, that's special for the, Washington. It's special for a guy to, just shows the organization what he means to them, what he means to the city and everything. But to score that much, especially, the athletes changed. We've all, the nutrition, everyone taking care of themselves better like that. But I mean, this guy's scoring 40-some-odd goals a year. I mean, it's incredible. It's really is incredible because I was at the World Cup with Brett Hall, and Hawley was showing us goals that he was basically saying, no, that wouldn't score today. That wouldn't score. That's a goal. That's a goal. We're talking about the top goaltenders or probably some of the best athletes on the team, and for him to keep that up, it's amazing. I mean, amazing to even think that he's got that many.
It's not only 800 goals that he has. He's also second all-time in empty net goals. Here's a list of just who's also on that list. Wayne Gretzky, obviously, right ahead of him. Brian Hossa, Mario Lemieux, Brad Marchand. I mean, some definitely very well-established names on that list. What does it say, though? I'm curious just what you think, that he's on the ice at the end of those games to get those empty net goals. What does that say about him as a player?
Well, there's certain guys that when you played and they're maybe your top guy and they're out there when it's 6-on-5 and the whole bench is going, why is he out there? It's one thing to be out there if there's no goalie, but you still have to play D. You still have to give your body up. And Ovi's always done that where, you get rewarded. And like I said, these guys, they need to be fed. If you're a goal scorer, any chance you get a goal, you'd rather have him score than me score because I don't know if I'm going to get another goal. But these guys, all they need, if it's an empty net, if it's 5-on-5, 4-on-4, or 5-on-4, they feed off that. And so, it's a bonus for that. But it also says a lot where you never heard complaints where Ovi's out there at the end of the game and he shouldn't be. I mean, he will sacrifice his body. He's done that. I mean, I've gotten run through the boards for that guy, and it's not fun. But that also shows the credit where they have the confidence in him to be out there at the end of the game. Because I'm telling you right now, there were certain guys that were out there. And I'm sure I was. I remember the first time I was out there 6-on-5. There was a lot of guys that were kind of pissed that I shouldn't be out there because I'm not going to give my body up. And there's a little game like that, but to see that many empty net goals, it's well deserved in that list.
That's why Ovechkin filed that trademark for the Great Chase, the GR8 chase. He's going after the great one right there as well. Elsewhere in the NHL, Ryan Reynolds had a big boy night, as producer Bronny likes to call Ryan Reaves. Sorry, there we go. It's been a day. Ryan Reaves had a big boy night, as our producer Bronny likes to call it. He was, Rangers enforcer, and now he's with Minnesota. What do you make about what he's been doing lately?
Well, first of all, the Detroit guy, your head is down, and you got to know this guy's on the ice. Because I think the thing with Revo is it's not an old school enforcer that can't skate. This guy can move.
This guy's clean hit, though.
Oh, as clean as this guy's got power. I mean, I give Larkin credit right here. He does not want to drop the gloves. He's got the letter on. He falls. That's even a better thing for him. And Revo respects that. There's no question about it. But we're talking about the king of the jungle right there, and it's Revo. And but you got to know when this guy's on the ice.
Yeah.
It is like I'm coming on the show with you girls. I know that you're gonna you guys are the best of the best. Yeah. You got to be ready. You got to be. And so, I mean, you hate to see a guy get hit like that, but at the same time, it's like, hey.
Yeah, you got to be cognizant of who's on the ice.
At least he's going to learn. I mean, you can feel Revo's presence when he's on the ice.
Yes.
That's the way it was in the old days. They used to say the same thing about like Eric Lindros. If you heard about as soon as Eric Lindros put his foot over the boards, the guys that said that not only is everyone on the bench knows he's on the ice, 19,000 people know this guy's on the ice where so hopefully the kid, that's a wake up for him. But I mean, but to see 2 hits like that old school, I mean, what can you say? That's I wouldn't want, that ain't going to happen to me, but,
So some favorite, we talked about this. The Rangers got their first win in the Reverse Retro jerseys tonight of the season. So Chris Kreider kind of made a joke about it in the locker room that they knew when they walked in there, okay, oh man, they saw those jerseys, and so good for them to get that. But there's some that we really liked, so we've ranked them. We want to know what you think as well. This is actually not really in any order per se. I'm curious what you think.
It's all the kind of the old California Seals thing.
Yeah,
We'll go
San
with
Jose,
that.
what do you think? You like
Yeah,
it?
you know what I think? I think more management, is it going to sell? And I think people are going to go in the rink and buy that jersey.
Yeah.
So we'll go with that. That's a good one.
All right, up next.
Beach vibes.
Yeah, Florida Panthers. I love this one.
I went, my high school colors were powder blue, like that. East Side T-Birds. T-Birds fly the highest. But so I've always been a fan of the powder blue, and I do like that. I'm really big fan of Florida's jersey right there. That's selling.
Sweet, like palm tree and whole crisscrossing there is a good look.
Nice vibe.
St. Louis Blues over here too.
I love this music note. You don't like this? I like this.
I know. I think you can't go wrong with, like you said, a music note with the Blues.
Yeah,
it seems like they had that one year with the jerseys that were striped. It was kind of.
Yeah.
It was Holly's last year. That was kind of.
Yeah.
But what's in
These are
style?
nice.
What's in style? Even though I'm not. I mean, as you can tell, but retro's in. So as long as it sells, and I think that's a kind of a different look. The yellow, I think that's
nice.
making money in St. Louis.
This next one's my favorite. This is Vegas Golden Knights. I'm mainly because they glow in the dark.
And also
I love it.
retro for a team that has only been around for a couple of years.
Yeah, they're leaning in.
Yeah.
It's okay.
They know how to make money, I guess. I mean, that's a good Halloween costume. I mean, if you're on a first date, you probably show up with this jersey. I mean, the lights go out.
Is this what you wear on a first date?
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying me, but I'm saying most guys can probably wear that. I mean, you're showing the girl that you're a fan. Don't be scared. I glow in the dark. But I don't need to do that.
Major pick. Gomer's dating Vegas
right here on MSG PM.
Gomer's dating right on advice. I wouldn't suggest that to most people, but if there's a lot of hockey fans out there, and in Vegas, hey, it's Sin City, a little different. I mean, it could work.
Yeah, this last
that
one.
to Hakkasan.
Yeah, a little controversial of this one. The Islanders retro. What do you like about this one?
All right, so before I was even in the NHL, I remember watching the Islanders. They'd be on ESPN, let's say, because Lemieux or someone would be playing against them, and it was the worst jerseys in the league. And I wasn't even in the league, and you die to wear any NHL jersey. But I think they kind of did it up a little bit. That's better than what the original one was, because wasn't the stripe on the bottom like more crooked, more going diagonal? But like I said, it's everyone loves retro. The team's a good team now, and when they used to wear those jerseys, they were an awful team. And as long as you win, you can wear whatever you want, I guess.
All right, there you go. Gomer's
Don't wear that on a first date. Don't wear that on a first date.
No, crowd pleaser.
Awesome having you stop by. Thanks so much, Gomer. As always, great to chat with you. Lots more coming up. TJ Husmanzada will join the show when we return. We're keeping it rolling on MSG PM. Stay with us.